Yo. Okay. Only got a few minutes left, so let's take things from the top here. No news today, or at least no Red Book reports. So there's nothing that's gonna interfere with the overall price action. Looking to see a continuation to the downside today. Yesterday was pretty interesting because it gapped up above Friday's drop-off, and then it was a gap and crap because it gained 2 levels, and then now it just lost 2, so I'm looking to see it retest the one that it just lost here in the middle. I'm talking about the overall NASDAQ market, and then to sell off back down to where it held support. And I want to see everything else on the list kind of do the same thing. Also, I don't want to call out conspiracy theory, but damn, I've been trading SMCI for over a month now, and yesterday was the first day where I wasn't able to use my full day trade buying power to go into it. And yesterday also just happened to be the day that it dropped almost 2 times its normal ATR move. Yeah, I couldn't get full size into it. I only could get 50 shares, and this thing could have been a monster move. I did cover a little bit too early on it, but if I had a larger size, I would have been able to hold on to it a little bit longer to take on some take some profits and hold. So something was a little bit fucked up yesterday. Let's see if I can go down to a lower time frame here. It's not showing me my Thursdays stuff, but that was a little bit fucked up. That really pissed me off. Because that was something. Alright. I'm gonna remove all this stuff. Now SMCI had a gap down, so I don't really want to trade it down here. Might be just done with this stupid thing in general now. If they're gonna restrict my buying power on it. Oh, so we're looking for... Yeah, Tesla's interesting. Tesla, a buck the trend of the market, so this thing probably still wants to go up today. Yesterday, I made $600 basically within the first 15 minutes. Then it came on and kind of demonstrated things and screwed around a bit. We got up to 650, and then I lost a couple of trades, and it put me down to like 550. The last trade was on camera was a short here that didn't work out, but I did do another one about a 30 minutes later, and I did get that win. So we ended up at 628 at the end of the day yesterday. We're a little overdue for a loss though, so I'm thinking they're gonna get me today, I think. Somehow. Another thing to call out is that the longer-term strategy has not worked. The one that I run to target, I've been having to scalp most of the month. So I've just been taking small areas of support and resistance and just kind of playing off of those, the price action back and forth. There's only 3 times this month where we actually were able to do a target and hit it. And yesterday didn't help things because it bounced up and took things out of the moving average trends. Alright, so what do we got here? Man, I moved 49%. Well, this thing ever breaks, maybe we'll try a the short here, but this thing has not been. This thing's been a pain in the ass to deal with. I don't really trust Tesla to the downside here. This thing's probably a sweep. Because it did buck that trend yesterday. Could retest here, sure. Let's see if they get me today. I want to reduce my stop loss today. A little lower than normal. And again, we don't have any targets. Still in the first 5 minutes here. Dollar Tree. This thing is not in a good position. I might be able to do it from the long side. It looks like it wants to,
Morning. Akar_pet_love. Ready to conquer the financial jungle today?
Good morning, me carpet. Sorry, you're gonna be ignored for a bit because it's right in the beginning of the day here. MRNA. Yeah, everything's a little bit fucked up. Yesterday kind of screwed up any trend that we had, at least for certain things. Not playing SMCI at this point. They've really, man, they really ran it down. Very interesting coincidence for them to fuck me like that with the buying power. Well, mRNA. Tricky shit. Man, I had such a reversal a couple of days ago. Okay, we'll keep it light size until 15 minutes is done. So expectations were it would break this. And only did that briefly. Yeah, today's gonna be a tough one. Thinking mostly to the downside, but I don't want things to chop around. So what do we got left? 3 minutes? Anything on the scans yet? So we got things... Alright. Light size here, we're probably gonna take a couple $100 loss. We'll see how mRNA behaves. Jesus Christ, it bounced already. Alright. Oh, that's not what you want to see. And what was the other alert that came off? MRNA. Looks like there's some... Yeah, it stopped me out already. Jesus fuck. Okay. So that trade did not work out. Damn, that was a quick reversal. Broke the low. Meanwhile, the market's going down. Might try this again if the low gets broken again, but that's a real pain in the ass. And it keeps behaving like how I'd expect. Never broke the initial candle, but I want to keep things light in the beginning. Might try one more time. Let's see what happens. So we got 6 minutes left before I need to make a decision. Maybe you're gonna get me today, market. Maybe today. EMOT looks good. But that it ran a little bit too hard. Could have a longer stop on this one. Can you please at least... There. Fuck you, dude. Jesus. Why doesn't this shit just snap when it's supposed to? So let's see what EMOT does. That's not good. We were up quickly, but it didn't hit target, so we didn't take it off. Probably should have just done it manually. Let's see if it breaks a low one more time. It's in the right position. But I wish the ATR was increasing, but it's not. Jesus Christ, we're up like 145 bucks and was looking for it to hit target and it didn't, now it reversed. So let's see if they're gonna get me today. I have a real long stop on this one. Yeah, we're almost outside the range of the previous day. Alright. Jesus Christ, teasing my dick. And I want to market smash this stupid thing, because this thing's bouncing up all over the place. I'm gonna get really shitty fills. Fucking bouncing McFuck. Three minutes left. What are we doing with 3 minutes? Anything else out here? God damn it, only a partial fill on that one. What the fuck, dude? Get down here and hit target. Okay. Meanwhile, let's look at our dipshit here. MRNA reversed. Jesus fuck. Oh, look at this. Okay. Alright, go here. Can we get back to 300, please? That'll make up for that MRNA loss. No, you're bouncing. MRNA 286. Let me take a look at what the 1 minute looks like here. We haven't made any support yet, so we're gonna look to let's see if we can get 300 out of this one and then work our way back. MRNA, you fucking dipshit. Fuck. Alright, Tesla. 5-minute Tesla. Could try something here. Alright, I am gonna scalp this one though, because this is in the wrong position. Still looking for Tesla to reverse. Ema, what are you fucking doing, man? Let me drop it down to the 1 minute, see if it's got anything. It does not have a basis of support yet. So let's see if this thing gets down to the fucking target again. Oh, sorry, we already at the target, but I want to see this thing break a new low, because it hasn't filled a support yet. If it did, it would get above this candle, and then I'd probably stop myself out, but it has not done that yet. Let me put an alert a little lower here. Alright, you shithead. So I'm not gonna play Ema anymore. It hasn't actually gained anything yet, but it's been fucking around all day. All day isn't very long, but it's still been fucking around. 252, still down on MRNA. MRNA is a little bit of a heartbreaker because this fucking thing was in the right position. It still has a positive overall trend, but at least in the position phase, it's was doing well until now. It just created this range, so that sucks. I don't see anything else going on here. This is gonna be a scalp day. Alright. Marvel. Tesla might be a short again, actually. So like I said, these are scalps. Can't do my normal strategy. We haven't been able to do that very much this month. Like I said, 3 times out of all the trading days we had. What kind of horseshit is that? Alright, you little fuck. You were supposed to go up higher today. You made me look like an ass. Alright, let's get to 200 and then I'm gonna cut you good. Let me look down at the 1 minute, see what you're doing here. That's not a really good look for you. Alright, one more low here. Can you give me one more low below that low? Doesn't look like you did. Haven't made a base of anything yet. Still looking for you to complete that low. This is not a really good place for you to reverse. Alright, 214. So we're done with this one. So we got 214 on Tesla. We're at a loss in MRNA. We have a win in EMOT. We're not playing EMOT anymore. It already hit target in terms of its overall momentum that it has for the day. So let's look for something else. We're running out of room here. A lot of things have just blew its load. QCOM. QCOM's already too far. Why the fuck didn't this thing show up? Did it? Well, I guess it did show up, but... Oh... It's only hitting 3 out of the, 5 criteria. It is outside of the range, which is good. Could try something with this one. Alright. Let's see if this thing kind of does the same thing as the others. It's got room to go to target, but... Things seem lethargic. We're not seeing increased momentum. Although this candle looks pretty good. But anything can happen. Alright, let me log into my broker in the background just to see where I'm at for the day. Sorry if it takes the active window out of frame. Alright, we still got... I'm not done with my day today. Alright, we ain't losing money on this motherfucker, that's for shit sure. Let's see if we can get... MRNA, you cocksucker, alright. Porkasoker. Let's see if everything ruins my day. What was the thing I was just in? Was that QCOM? I don't like managing two at once. MRNA, breaking my heart again. This thing is just all over the place, this motherfucker. So we had a channel, it broke below the channel but it didn't continue. This thing might, fuck, just fucked me up $200 again. Oh, son of a bitch. It might get me today. This thing's a pain in the ass fucking stock. EMPH broke. Why can't you behave more like EMPH? Alright, so you broke below. Made a new low, didn't continue. What do you look like on the daily here? I don't know, this thing's gonna make a... I think this thing's gonna go lower, but this thing is not performing or behaving the way you'd want. And it moves so goddamn slow, too. Look at these candles, fucked up. These are one of those things that move so strangely, but when they actually do work out, they pay really well. So ENPH did break out of this. Okay, MRNA going our direction again. But I am gonna cut this thing if it breaks above. because this thing's already taken up quite a bit of our gains today. This thing's behaving like bullshit. Moonwatcher, hey. So I'm gonna be the fucking goddamn this thing, man. Wow, this thing did not break. This thing's already taken out all of my gains. God damn this fucker. And the thing is that on the daily, it looks like it could make a lower low, but it is going up against the reversal from 2 days ago. This thing's already sold all my money today. So where is the, I mean, I'd expect support to be here. So I would have expected, some type of downtrend to it. But it's doing it here, and it's below all the moving averages, and this candle cleared everything out. Alright, E and PH, right? Now, son of a bitch, man, this thing is a motherfucker, I swear to God. Ah. Now it's gonna need to clear again, but the fact that it didn't make a low lower than that low means I'm pretty much fucked. God damn it. Fuck you! Damn this thing. Alright, we're down for the day now. Ah, this thing is a motherfucking frustrating piece of shit. Look at that bullshit. God damn it, now we're gonna have to look for something else here. Motherfucker. Okay, possible entry on E and PH. This thing can also move like MRNA, where it just kind of fucks you over. Man, MRNA, brutal. So this thing wiped out our wins in EMOT, Tesla, QCOM. Man, this son of a bitch. What a fuckhole. That's where he starts saying weird shit. So, MRNA broke below the low of that 15-minute candle. And then immediately reversed, so this thing ain't gonna go any lower, but... Man, once it popped here, it popped hard. So we are currently down... after making 3 correct wins. So we can either do E and PH if it breaks the low yet again. It looks like the market's rallying here, though. Okay, well, we just have a small loss here, so it is possible to reverse. But this thing just found us. So I wonder if Tesla's reversing right now, because this thing is a little bit like Tesla in terms of how things worked out. Tesla had a much further drop. So this is where you look for it to go to the upside. So you have that 5-minute candle, then you have this retest here. Does have an overall move to the downside, but given what it did yesterday, I'm looking for a reversal here. So I don't want to give too much back today. But we're still in my loss parameter right now. So we have that. Retest. Let me look at the 1 minute again. 1 minute looks pretty good, actually. See what we got here. So it already did 2 retests. But it hasn't cleared up here. Let's see what happens. Market looks like it's reversing again too. Alright, I'm gonna have to flatten this thing. It's not behaving. It is behaving on the 5 minutes, so I should probably, if I really believe it's gonna reverse, then I should do this. Alright. There's your reversal. See if I can get this thing to complete up here. No. Alright, so we're back in profits. Barely. No thanks to MRNA from earlier. So this thing wants to come back down a little bit. So this is the pop-up, clear. Another retest. Let me go lower size here. I'm actually down $4. Let me see if I can... Let's see if this is liquidity grab or if it's actual reversal. Could be an actual reversal, let's see. Gotta wait for it to close, because they do these liquidity grabs where they're grabbing out cheap shares from stop-outs before they take it to their normal position, but you don't know. Alright, this thing looks like it is gonna reverse. Let's see. That's why I did a lighter size on it. So this is where the retest needed to happen. Alright. So on the 15 minute, it hasn't gained anything. The 5 minute, this was a retest. It looks like it's gonna fail. Got the moving average against it. But in terms of price levels, it's probably gonna fail because it already did retest here. Oh, there we go. See, they can trick you out like that. Alright, now we're profitable for the day. But, barely, so... Just whittle gains! Whittle gains! Not much today, Tiag. Yesterday I did 600, the day before was 700, the day before that was another 700. Hey, Skylar, sorry about that. When I'm trading, it's hard for me to see the chat box because I'm actively trying to manage my money. Let's see. No, I'm not going to talk on Discord while I'm trading. I don't usually talk on Discord. So, welcome Skylar, Tiag, Moonwatcher, A-Carpet. Yeah, I can't, I have to ignore chat in the morning when I'm doing this, because this is actual real money, so I'm putting in, you know, margin and it needs to be managed. So we took a big loss in MRNA, so now we're, you know, for all intents and purposes, I'd say we're like break even right now. It's a different day than yesterday. And this thing is gonna fail. This thing's been, I've been watching this fucker all day. Maybe we'll try it one more time if this thing breaks the low here. But it's doing a really nasty channel. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk on Discord while I'm also on stream trying to do this. But you can leave messages there if you'd like. So we're only sitting on $9 of profit right now, so it's really pathetic. It's not like yesterday at all. MRNA really fucked us. We'd be up over $600 today if we didn't lose on MRNA. I don't think we're gonna get that back. It's gonna be a pretty pathetic day. Man, this is a... what an asshole MRNA is. So if I look at the daily... yeah, this is the concerning candle, but I guess it did make a low lower than the previous low, which is what I've expected, so I don't... maybe it's not gonna go lower today. It's... look at this barcoding, that's nasty. Oh man, sometimes you get caught up in those positions and that is really frustrating. Where you don't have a velocity in a direction and you keep entering, and that's what really fucks you. Chop zone, as it were. But you don't really want to call it chop. It's either going to be accumulation or distribution based off of this pattern. Looks like it's accumulating because it couldn't drop any further, so they're buying up shares to prop it up higher, and at some point today it might break up to the upside. It did have a nice pop yesterday. I would have expected it to come back down here. There was a level here that they could have retested. I guess they tested this giant bar here. But it could have gone down here too. Well, if this thing is going to accumulate, do we want to try a long on it, or is this thing going to stay in its channel zone? Well, we can see if it breaks the open, it might come up here. Original first message. Congratulations, I don't think anyone's ever typed original first message. Alright, so we're sitting up $9, but this thing, MRNA, really messed us up today. And I'm overdue for a loss this month because we've had only one loss back on March 4th. So I was expecting that today. But we haven't lost yet, we're just... the gains are very minimal, and that's gonna happen. So this was a... we got in a couple of times. We got in on a 5-minute breakout, but it reversed immediately. We were down 200. Tried it again, and it blew through where I had my stop. So I manually... I didn't have like a set stop, I had a mental stop, and it just like blew through that really quickly. And hell, even if I had a stop that fills on market order, so it probably still would have filled out at the same place I hit the flat button on. Wherever the buyer was and wherever it was on the price ladder. So Amont was a good one. Tesla did the short side and we did the upside, but we didn't hold the upside long enough. We recognized that this thing created a level here and it retested it twice. I got a little bit scared out on the second retest, but now it's just going to go up and hit here, and then we're going to see what happens when it does that. So we can either look for a short or it's going to gain it and move higher. Considering what happened yesterday where it just blew above the sell-off from Friday and it created this new level here, I want to see this thing jump up and gain. Although it did pull back a little bit further than I anticipated. So we might be able to play this again. So how am I gonna get my gains today? I mean, even $9, maybe I should just quit at $9. I'm gonna lose it. Fucking MRNA, man. You got me. You got me good. What's SMCI doing? Oh, this thing's always so tempting to trade, but this thing will obliterate your ass. And yesterday it would have been like one of those lifetime trades, but they wouldn't let me enter full size. Those jerks. Market manipulators. Alright. Tesla. Tesla's hitting the level here. Wait, did I have another one here? What else is going on? So Tesla... Oh, there's bugs in this... There's bugs on this platform right now. It's going all over the place. It was sending a bunch of, mixed messages this morning. There was an outage on Forex. There was a blah blah blah. Alright, so this is a retest of this area that it lost. It's probably gonna gain it. Let me take a look at the daily here. Yeah, daily is, pretty strong. I mean, that's not saying that you couldn't have scalped this, but I doubt it's gonna make a lower low than this low. Let's see if it pulls back here. We might be able to long off at this point. Now if it breaks below this thing, then you're talking something else. It could channel back and forth here. Because it already did retrust this multiple times, so it wants to go higher, but it could also just linger around. That is a nasty reversal bar. So how do we want to do this? We could always buy it here. I still don't think it's going to roll over today, but I can be wrong. Do I make a living from trading? No, I don't. I'm profitable. I'm consistently profitable, but it's really difficult to replace like a full-time job doing this. You have days where you're making $1,000, but then you're gonna have loser days too. I'm getting ever so close. This month probably. But I might have to go back into the office. Well, I've already started to reapply. I did take time away out of the career to try to see if I could do this full-time. And I've been profitable since I've done that, but it hasn't been enough to pay all the bills, so I gave myself a few months to try it, and now I'm over the scheduled limit that I put for myself doing that. Although, funny enough, I might get things to work out after my time limit. Maybe I didn't give myself enough time. So here's the reversal. But this month, likely. Alright, what do we got here? You know what? I'm gonna try something here. So, failure to lose this. This was a nasty candle, but this looks like it wants to go higher here. We're gonna take a risk. Let me look at, Now, if I lived in another country, if I lived where, wherever average change turbofan lives, I'd probably live like a king there. But I live in a high cost of living place, so this does not cut it quite yet. Now, if you only want to play around and just get profits, then yeah, I've been profitable for a while, consistently. Alright, let's try this. Looking for a breakout. You're not breaking out. Oh, hello, breakout. Alright, so we're getting pretty decent profits now. Let me break out half of this position and hold this rest of it. So now I want this thing to continue higher. Alright, so now we've gained that, or we're retesting this level that we lost, but we want to see a really strong breakout, pull back, and then move higher. So let's see if we can get that. This might be our meal ticket today. But I ain't gonna let you, fuck with me too much, because I am struggling to keep a profit today. Okay, now we just had a... We hit a large sell wall here. Alright, if this one goes negative... Alright, let's do this. Let's see, what are we at now? So we're at 147. And definitely not easy today. Mostly because we fucked ourselves with fucking MRNA. The clot shot. Clogged up my goddamn trading account. Now look at this motherfucker. God damn this son of a bitch. Still barcoding. I really don't want to go short here because it could easily reverse. It hasn't broken anything. Ugh. Sickens me. Son of a bitch. A cool life story? I have to think about that one. There were lots of cool things that happened. Do you want, do you have like a subject or a theme you want me to go with? You think gold is predictable? I don't even know what the damn... ticker symbol is for that, so I always look at, like, AppNext to see where it's at. Well, hell, that's a good thing. Let's hold around that 2,160. Cool life story. I'll have to think about that. I'll spend some processing time, some idle processing time while I'm trying to trade here. This is why it's tough to live stream, because I'm narrating, I'm talking, I'm doing a bunch of different things outside of just trading. Okay, alright, MRNA again. Do we really want to stick our dick in crazy? How many times has this fucked us? So one of my... Okay, I've met two of the most, two of the most important games to me ever is, one is Mortal Kombat, that had a pretty significant impact on my life, and then the other is Magic the Gathering. I have met the creators of, and I have pictures of, both of the lead creators. I met Ed Boon at PAX, and I also met Richard Garfield. The funny thing with Richard Garfield is that he was co-hosting a panel, and God, what's the other guy's name? Steven something. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank because I'm trying to use my brain for multiple things at the moment. I'll just cut it short. I met both of them. I have pictures of them. That's a pretty important event. It's always good to meet your, I don't want to say heroes, but huge influence. Actually, you know what? Sure. Magic the Gathering is just it's the greatest game of all time, run by one of the dumbest companies of all time, played by one of the worst fan bases of all time. But that game is significant. First trading card game. There's a lot I can say positive about it, especially when it comes to like upbringing and just influence. So you got your story. I've never met Shigeru Miyamoto, unfortunately, but I did meet one of the older Nintendo presidents. But I want to meet Shigeru. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that one. Creator of Mario. Oh, what a fucked up day. So AMOT, what did AMOT do? It put a base in on the candle that created a new low. It's retesting it right now. Could do a reversal here. It's a lot like the market in this respect. It's got the drop off and then the holding here, looking for a reversal. So this might be something we might be able to make a couple bucks on. So Turbo, was that sufficient? Yeah, this son of a bitch, look at this thing. He did it again. What a brutal barcode. Barcode of death. Oh, horseshit is what I say. Well, we leveled up the bank account, but just a little bit. You have a lot of absurd stories, but they're too long to share or too strange. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll share a strange one. Oh, the son of a bitch, MRNA. How much is a loss if I have this stop? See what happens here. Probably another dumbass move on my part. If I lose this one, probably no more trading today. I think this is a fucked up day. Tuesdays are usually, historically, one of my worst days. So we're lucky to get out with anything. Well, let's see if we can get a little bit back from MRNA. Or this thing just gonna barcode. Jesus Christ, see how the candles move on this thing? What a fucked up piece of shit this place is. Hate it here. Oh, now we're down again. This is a shit stock. What a piece of shit this fucker is. We can see where the psychology gets involved, because I'm basically Captain Ahab, and this is Moby Dick here. Trying to catch my fucking whale. Yeah, musicians are good too. I have one of my favorite bands is Opeth, which is I guess you'd say, Well, it's a death metal band, but I'm trying to think if there's like a way to... I guess they call themselves forest metal. Or at least they did a long time ago. But I met the band and I have signatures from all of them on one of my albums next to all of their pictures. This is back when they were... back when they were still death metal. Now they've kind of turned... Well, they're definitely progressive death metal. I guess I could call it that. But, they aren't now. Now they're a little bit more just progressive in general. But back when, they did their old style of thing, I met all of them. That was really significant to me. Back when they were still my favorite band. I mean, they're still overall, historically, my favorite band. But their new stuff is just completely different. It doesn't resonate with me. But they were getting older anyway, so it makes sense that they'd want to change their style. They don't have like that visceral anger anymore when they're older. Son of a bitch, this thing keeps fucking around. Alright, so what are we looking at here? We gotta move this thing up a bit. Let me clear everything. Do we even have levels here? This is just complete shit. This is just fucking garbage. Why am I even looking at this thing? Oh, okay. Now you're gonna roll over? To be or not to be? Looks like you're gonna fucking die on me. 15-minute looks like shit. Didn't hold a 15-minute level here. It has a range bar, it's stuck inside of a range. So it either gets above here or above here, there's no trades in the middle. So I diddled in the middle, I did what we weren't supposed to do. You don't diddle in the middle. Now we're gonna pay for it. What kind of bands do you like, Tiag? Meshuggah, old school. Gojira is one of the... Well, I guess maybe not... No, not Gojira, but Gojira is one of the older ones, too. Tool, I really love them as well. Never saw them in concert, but they're a pretty big influence on me, too. But, Anima was just an amazing album. So, Turbofan, you liked... So, you not only like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and then Opeth. Wow, that's crazy. Well, I guess you just listened to the track. Blackwater Park's an amazing one. The other one is The Moor. The Moor is like a 13-minute song that's really great. But... You know, I mean, the songs that are on my channel, you know, they're progressive as well. Basically, Okay, I gotta drop this off. Son of a bitch. They basically string together parts of different songs from different game, or from the same game, and string them together in a progressive single track. So it has that in mind. I guess it's closer to the tool. Because it's got, you know, that electronic element. Of course this thing is just obliterating me today. I can't do any more with this. Still positive, but we took a loss on that last trade. Oh. So Emot broke one of my rules about diddling in the middle. You can see it trend downward here on the 1 minute, but on the 15 minute and such, it hasn't lost anything. Hasn't broken a new low. Hasn't gotten above anything, it's just stuck. And we paid for it pretty hard. I don't think we're gonna hit any kind of target today. So we're only up $50 now after that ill-advised MRNA trade. I mean, it just looks like shit no matter what time frame you're in. I don't know if this thing's gonna go anywhere. Brutal. Scan. Yeah, nothing's hitting all criteria. Celsius would have been a good one. This thing hasn't hit target either. But it broke below the 15 minute. Having a hard time breaking any lower though, and what's Bitcoin up to? Bitcoin down 6% again. 7%. I don't know. We might have to, call it good on some lunch money here. We're running out of time. Aether. Aether and the Halo effect. I haven't heard of either of them. Let me write that down on the notes here. Aether, the Halo effect. I've never heard of the Dillinger escape plan. I do have Bitcoin, that's the only one that I'll invest in. It has first mover advantage. It doesn't have... It has a... It only works by consensus. There's no, like, real leader behind it. So it really is a chain of trust on that one. You don't have somebody that's just issuing coins or changing based off of a hard fork into something like a proof of stake system. There's a lot I can go into on why I think Bitcoin could be the underlying protocol for online payment systems in the future. It has aspects that are like gold, but it's more portable, it's audited, and there's a fixed amount of supply, which is something that is the only way that you could really preserve wealth, but we have to have a consensus behind us wanting to use Bitcoin over anything else. And Bitcoin has that first mover advantage and more history behind it, even though it doesn't have, like on the base layer, it doesn't have all of the same properties as something like an Ethereum or something that has, you know, smart contracts right out of the box. You can build layers on top of Bitcoin. You know, like they have the Lightning Network, you can build things above that. So I think owning Bitcoin is going to be massively important, and my average is like 36,000, so, you know, even if it falls 10%, 15%, it doesn't really affect me all that much, and I think that the ceiling for that is going to be really high, especially if it becomes more adopted. And you're running out of time to get it in at this level. You might have a generational opportunity to grab some. Obviously, it's a bet, but I think there's a lot of elements to it that do make it... I mean, imagine you were back when Microsoft and Google were just getting started up, and you didn't really know if they were going to be the future or not, but you saw probabilities of what things would be with a microcomputer and computer space, and like the adoption rate. That's kind of the same thing here. You have to kind of be a little bit of a visionary. It may not work out, but you know, it is a probability that has a chance to play out, so I would play it on those terms. Now, multiple coins could survive, but I think they'd make more sense as additional layers on top of Bitcoin, because you have that audited account that has a limited supply, and I think that's the most important thing, because when you work right now, when you're going into the office and you're doing your job, you're basically, at least I'm sure it's in whatever country you're in, but definitely in our country, when you're getting your paycheck, with the way that the system gets debased, you're making less than what you spent your time doing. And you can take a look at the purchasing power of the dollar since the 70s, and you can see that massive drop. Gosh, I want to say it's a 99% drop in purchasing power. Back when they had a peg to something physical like gold. Now it allows them to do a lot more spending to do different things, pull different levers with the economy, but in terms of like saving and purchasing power of the consumer, it's been devastating. So Bitcoin is like a way out of that, a possible way out. Because it'll only get more scarce, and you need some type of effect like that. And the stock market, I know people do 401ks and such, but if you think about it, the price of these stocks, a lot of these are multiple times their earnings, like they're projected way far in the future. It doesn't even make any sense. And not only are they worth multiples of what they actually earn, the price may also be skyrocketing because of the devaluation of the dollar, so they're trying to offset the devaluation of the dollar with the stock price, so you kind of got that effect as well. There's a lot I could say about it, but I think Michael Saylor is a better spokesperson. He has a lot of good videos. He's the CEO of MicroStrategy that kind of did a big bet on Bitcoin. Man, I love old In Flames. In Flames is awesome. And Dark Tranquility too, like Projector. The older ones. I don't think I I think Projector and anything before that for Dark Tranquility. I don't remember anything from the new stuff. The old In Flames too, like Horacle. Alright, so we got punked on MRNA again. Remember when I bought looking for a spike up? Well, did a liquidity sweep and it stopped me out and then they ran it up, so fuck me, I guess. It still hasn't gained anything, but it did move up higher. Well, if you consider that it has a probability of going up forever as it gets more scarce and as it gets more adopted, then it's more risky to not have any exposure to it. I mean, even $100, you don't have to buy a whole coin, you just dollar cost average into it, you just buy a little bit at a time. One thing to consider is that if you divide the available Bitcoin by everyone around on Earth, an individual could only own $100 of it at current prices. So what you think about, and this is a little bit fucked up, but if you buy every $100 of Bitcoin, you essentially own a slave. You're buying an amount of Bitcoin that can't be distributed to everyone across the planet. You should look at a website called Bitcoin Per Person, and it does a it does a tracker of how much Bitcoin is divisible by person, and I try to dollar cost average based off of that, and that's a good way of doing it. You know, not something that you're gonna not lose sleep over, but at least to get exposure, because if it does turn out the way I think it is, then this is your only opportunity you're ever gonna have to buy Bitcoins at this level. It can also go to zero, but I think that there's a lot of merit for it to be a accepted base layer protocol for online currency. Interesting. So yeah, I had marked down the halo effect, so I might try to take a look at some tracks on YouTube at some point today. Well, we got punked out of more money today, that's all I can say. So I did go long here, and then it stopped me out. These guys are fucking assholes. Yep, there it goes, runs. It still might be shortable because it hasn't retested anything, but it did definitely break up and above resistance. Hasn't taken out the high of today, but I'd expect it to like break up and above like this and then kind of pull back down to this area. It might be shortable, but this thing runs. When this thing runs, it runs. It doesn't look back and it doesn't give a shit. Wow, see that? Look at that price skip. Yeah, so we got in here and then we got stopped out because it broke below this candle, even though this really doesn't mean much. Suppose I could have held it to down here, but that already cost me like $80 just to hold this piece of shit. Still positive on the day, but very, very little gains. We are not gonna hit target today. What a motherfucker this stock is. Did try 2 shorts, and then we tried 1 long and got stopped out. Now we've broken out of that channel, so we'd want to see a retest down here. Like I said, it might be shortable out here, but you can also just keep running. So EMOT, we did well on. Tesla, we did well on. MRNA, we got butt fucked on. Mean pH never hit our entry point. Man, now look at this motherfucker go. Crazy, huh? Still needs a pullback. It hasn't, I wanted to see it rest here and then move higher. This is, should be running into resistance like this. If it gets to 105, I may try to short it again with a pretty large size. And that would be the end of me if, it goes against me. So let's see where that goes. It's funny, this program looks like EVE Online. Man, that's a game with some staying power. I guess people are pretty damn invested into it, though. Gotta break out all the spreadsheets and optimize my spaceships. This is me explaining EVE without having played it. The only time I hear about EVE is when I hear about these large battles where people lose like tens of thousands of dollars on ships that they've optimized. Would I rather be a peasant during Black Death with a 50% chance of surviving but facing constant fear of illness and societal collapse, or be a high-ranking official in the Aztec Empire? Jesus Christ, that's a fucked up... Jesus. Well, no, the Aztecs did a lot of sacrifice. So not only were the Spanish... mutilating them, they also mutilated themselves. So I'd have to say Black Death Europe, because they actually had some type of functioning relation resembling some type of modern society, where you have, like, toilets and... well, I guess latrines. But you had housing. I have to say the, without doing further research into the actual history at this very moment, if you put a gun to my head and I had to pick one, I guess I'd say Black Death Europe. Because the Aztecs, they were just a little bit too simple, too much of a religious cult. Feel like I'd get beheaded or something. Sacrifice to Quetzalcoatl or some shit. And then you're gonna get wiped out completely when the Spanish come. So I'll go with the 50% rather than the 100%, because the Aztecs were wiped out completely. Oh, I answered. I gave an answer. So we're going with the Europe Black Death. Although, how much did the high-ranking officials in the Aztec Empire get laid? I bet I could have, like, every chick in the village, except none of the chicks shave down there, so... maybe it wouldn't be a... maybe it wouldn't be a fun thing. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting gross now. No, we're still going with Black Death. With the Aztecs, I'd have a bunch of gold, but they don't know the true value of it in worldwide relations. I'd have, like, these gold crown, gold necklace, gold everything, and it's more ornamental than something that provides, like, riches. Although I'm rich just by being a ranking official, it's just not the same. So that's kind of the pullback I was looking for, but now we might have been too far into it. Let's see what happens here. I still want it to come back down here, but it may not. It may just explode, and then I'm gonna be down for the day. So we're gonna keep an eye on this thing like a hawk. So it did fail, it did this, and it retested and failed, so now I want to move to the downside. So let's see where this thing goes. This thing to pop off again. This thing just skips price levels. Still fucking doing it. Does anyone else want to give an opinion on whether they'd choose being a high-ranking official in the Aztec Empire or choosing peasantry in Europe? Now I'm kind of second-guessing my answer here, because I kind of want to have access to the water and stuff, and the peasants may not have had, you know, being crammed together, may have had not enough access to that, but if I was a ranking official in a tropical area, you know what, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm definitely gonna get decimated by the Spanish when they come over. It's a tough one. But I guess I already answered, so I'm stuck with it. Even if you don't have Black Death, you still have malnutrition. Ah, god damn it, you fucking son of a bitch. Ugh! Alright, we're dead. We're down $100 now. The thing did not keep going. Damn. This thing really ate my lunch today. I might be able to get that $100 back on something, but I might need to do that a little bit later today. Can't change my answer. You are stuck. I am stuck in 1300s Europe right now. But I haven't heard everyone else's answer yet. tried to get cute on MRNA with that one, looking for a pullback, but it didn't happen. It's still going up. So we're down $100. We were up 150, and then we lost it on MRNA trying to get back in. Like I said, AHAB and as well. $100 isn't insurmountable, but it is a loss. Poland was never affected by Black Death. Yeah, Moonwatcher didn't specify where in Europe. So if you specified where you wanted to spawn, even though it's 50%, if you spawn somewhere else that is completely separate from it, then maybe that could have been one way of looking at it. So it would have helped to be a little bit more knowledgeable about history. Try this one more time. Well, Turbofan, you have to pick an answer. God damn this fucking thing. Well, definitely, it's holding the new range up here. Failed up here, but it also didn't break it to a new low, so I'm just fucking throwing away money at this point. Wanted to see more of a pullback down here, but we didn't get it. Break up and above, and then a retest is what I was looking for. But we've been wrong on this name a few times today. No breakdown to the downside after that 15-minute break. Then we took a trade in the channel. So this thing ate my lunch today. But we were overdue for a loss. Or this could happen where it reverses. But it didn't last very long, did it? So Moonwatcher, do you accept Tug's answer there? He's choosing to spawn in Poland. Ugh. Alright, we run out of time on this short. So I could have called it good at 150 earlier, but I kept trading because I didn't hit any of the goals. I'd rather take a stop out than to just give up when there's time left. Market's still in a range as well. So you got the initial candle from the open this morning. It's still in the range between that first 15-minute open range candle. It does look like it's getting into some resistance here, but it's still channeling. Really tight range day. You're not a large language model. There's too many things that tip me off to that. One of the things that a large language model does is it always tries to, if you ask it a question about something, it'll always say something like, keep in mind that, blah, 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 blah. Like it's overly verbose on certain answers. And it's also quite a bit biased on certain others. Like there was the meme where you could say, make a joke about men, and it'll give you a joke about men. And then you say, make a joke about women. It'll say, oh, that would be sexist, and I can't go that route. And the same thing about races, too. So there is inherent bias in it that you don't have. But one day soon, probably won't be very easily decipherable. Yeah. Alright, we've lost the momentum here. That sucks. So now it's making higher lows. And it's holding above this on this candle, so we're just waiting to get stopped out at this point. Once I get stopped out, I'll call it good on the stream for now. I'll play games later, because I'm behind on multiple things I wanted to do this month. I'll still probably trade again, but we can call the live stream a loss. So I might end up with money, but, you know, it won't be on camera, so if I don't show it on camera, then it's gonna have to be considered a loss without any other information. Really small loss today compared to the gains that we made. Like I said, we're overdue for a loss. And I still might make it out with something today. Oh, this thing really fucked us. Man, I tried going long, and that would have been a massive win, but it stopped me out before it did. And I definitely should have had a longer stop on it now that I look at this thing. What is your native language? Well, I would have had a prompter model to add emojis to your statements, and I don't think most people do that. So that's another thing as well. A question to better not answer, that's fine. None of my business anyway. Oh. Okay, well it gives me a couple of options to consider. But I'm not at war with anyone. The world's always in a situation. There's always gonna be something. Still waiting to get stopped out here. At this point, there's no way that we're not going to get stopped out. This thing has made higher lows. It's channeling, but it hasn't broken down to the downside, and it already broke up. I still wanted to get down to where I have that purple line for a level. That might not be possible right now. So I'll take a small loss, and it's something I can come back from. But we're getting to a really low volume point where there's not going to be very many transactions, and it's going to be even more difficult to trade. So I'll probably have to do that offline. But we'll wait till I get a stop out. I'll continue chatting with you guys until then. And I still have to move forward on Final Fantasy VII. I'm still stuck at an important place from last Friday and never continued. So I gotta play Final Fantasy VII, and then I wanted to do a bunch of games, the older X-Men titles, and Dragon Ball titles. So we have that as a highlight reel. Fucked. This is a fucked up stock, and it kept going back into it. So you saw what not to do in that front today. There's just certain days where just things are just completely fucked up. Alright, if it comes back down to... Okay, now I gotta really consider a couple things here. See if I can get out on some limit orders here. Actually break below the wick of this candle. Nope, didn't do it. Man, this thing is such a pain in the ass to trade. Definitely slowed down here. I would have expected a little bit more of a momentum speed up for the next 20 minutes before it really dies off. But maybe we're not going to get that. Just waiting to get stopped out. I pretty much showed everything that can happen with these trading videos. I've had it where things work out, I've had things where I've grinded from a massive loss. I've had things where I've been too greedy and gave things back. And then I've had situations like this where I get obsessed with a single stock and keep losing more into it. So you got to see everything that can happen to you if you undertake this as a method of getting income. It would be a horrible last message in stream chat. I don't really care where you're from. It's okay never to answer. You're all just names on the internet to me. And I'd rather have you stick around. But I'm probably able to guess where you're from just based off of the way that you're phrasing your English, as it is your second language. There's I'm not gonna do any guesses, but I bet I can figure it out based off of the inflections in usage. Waiting to get stopped out. I'm either gonna break even or take a small loss today. What did Emot and Tesla end up doing? Tesla kept going higher, man. That would have been the main play to hold on to. So now it's gonna retest the open. I really need this thing to take one of my orders off, man. Come on. This thing is just so fucked today. Oh, that's frustrating as hell. Ugh. So we had Tesla gain another level again, kind of do a retest here, and then move higher. So the next place would be the open as a possible short position, or if it does break up above again, it could close the gap with yesterday. And MRNA is still fucking around with us. Really tight range up here, had a really nice breakout to the upside. We tried to get long here, but it stopped me out. You know, for your second language, your English definitely is a lot more proper than normal users. So it's definitely some type of refined schooling. But then again, I mean, if you're a professor, you're someone who's in the education system, or you're a researcher or something like that, you know, this could also be proper usage as well. So maybe the other country thing could also be a red herring. But like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're here, and you're definitely interesting. You're an interesting person. So the short is working out. Let's see where we're at. I'll probably get to break even if this thing continues. Oops, my screen. How's that? That's better. Another reason why I got into trading is because of AI. I worked in the tech industry, and a lot of things were getting automated even outside of artificial intelligence. I mean, just having scheduled tasks with executables do the same thing that, you know, I've replaced a lot of people with some of the things that I've automated. And it's only a matter of time before things like you can be more efficient and have fewer developers and have the bulk of the code that does some of the same data structures and patterns for functions just get handled by interpreters like a GPT. So there's going to be massive layoffs there at some point. But trading, there's already a lot of algorithms working in trading, but you're using your own capital. No one can prevent you from using your own capital. So you're working for yourself, so I mean, that's the most important thing. If you're working for somebody else, then you're always going to be replaceable. So I wanted to have something that could be repeatable and sustainable. We're not at the sustainable part yet. We're getting really close. It would take 1,000 symbols to describe how absurd the entire situation is. 200 default symbols on YouTube just doesn't fit. Man, I can't imagine, I never did much research into this, but I wonder how, the Chinese do their keyboards. Like all the letters. I mean, hold on a second. Let me do some research before I start blabbering my mouth here. So Chinese doesn't have letters or an alphabet, it has characters. Most sources estimate there are over 50,000 characters in Chinese. Jesus Christ. But then the other thing is that there's 26 letters in the Chinese alphabet, just like the English alphabet, but in the Chinese alphabet there are 23 consonants and 24 vowels that are formed from a combination of the 26 letters. So what is it? Why do I have two different answers here? So Mandarin, this site says there's over 50,000 individual characters. But then if I look at the Google answer, it says there's only 26. So what the fuck am I supposed to believe? So what the hell is the difference between a character and a letter in their interpretation? Well, more things to research. I probably won't care about it that much. Absurd story about you. Watching the stream goes straight into your arsenal. I mean, I'm interested in science, and I'm interested in history. I'm interested in all kinds of things, so there isn't any real weird subject. I'm pretty eclectic myself. I mean, we can talk about everything from history to death metal, and it doesn't matter to me, so... If anything, you're in good company with the, weirdos. So I swapped myself out manually on MRNA. We're still down just a twinge. Just a twinge. Maybe I'd like to break even or something, and we can call it good. I do need about 3 minutes. I need to use a restroom. I've been sitting here for a bit. So give me a few minutes to use a restroom, clear my head, and come back, and then I'll try to do a break even here somewhere. Alright, be right back. back. Okay, so we're down a little bit. Let's see if I can break even before we close this thing off. You're interested in science subjects, but you're not the smartest person out there. You like death metal. Observatory, you once tried to scream Gojira's global warming while playing a song on speakers. I mean, we all kind of want to imitate those growls on death metal. Sometimes you just kind of get into it. So what are we looking at here? We're very close to break even at this point. So we've gone from a loss to plus 150 and then getting crushed again by MRNA. And then now we're down about 40 bucks, so... This thing looks like it wants to go higher. So it did a sweep here, double tapped it. It's really... We're also getting into a really low... Volume should be dropping off now. We're getting into that lunchtime period, too. Oh, so what do we do here? Could try a quickie here, see what happens. See if we can get this. If we get this, then we break it even. See if we can hit this thing here. Tesla's done well for us today. Alright, well that was a quickie. That literally was a quickie. Where do we end up? Yeah, we're still down 10 bucks. So we're looking for a high higher than this, or MRNA, what are you doing? The MRNA is going up.
I'm really trying to freaking...
Still wanted to see it come back down here, but that might be a little bit too...
Good and a gift of 5.
Too much expectation on it. Ugh, yeah. So in-phase energy came back down to the open. This might be about... Wow, that's a hell of a drop-off, but that's on the 1 minute. 5 minute doesn't look too good either, but it's in support here. We're only down 10 bucks. So we got this inside range here. Now it's outside. And this thing is kind of kind of gaps around like MRNA does, so maybe that's not the best play to get 10 bucks out of. Damn. That would have worked. Let's see, what about something like Amazon? Amazon's a good one to get 10 bucks out of. So we want to get higher than this high. We probably will. We're grinding up higher. We did a sweep lower here. I see how this candle closes. Man, I got a lot of shit to do today. I got some stuff I need to get done. Yes, I've heard of Blind Guardian. It's one of the older school bands as well. Alright. See what we can do with Amazon here. That might have been a little bit too late for me. But this was a break above that we're looking for. Ah, shit. Now we're down 20 bucks. It did break above this resistance point, so I'd want to see this thing continue. Yeah, Blind Guardian was around for a really long time. They weren't something I really listened to. But that's because I had a whole bunch of other things that I listened to, so it's hard to just keep your attention divided on multiple things. Fuck, this thing reversed. Okay. So only made $2 out of that. That's pathetic. That's a little bit too strong of a pullback. Alright, maybe we won't fuck with Amazon. EMOD broke above. Another band that I like that's more melodic, progressive metal is Dream Theater. Also Camelot. There's only actually a few death metal bands that I like, and then everything else is like progressive melodic metal. So I probably just have to say that that kind of progressive melodic metal is probably more my thing. My first exposure to death metal... So, I used to just listen to the radio, right? Just like everyone else, and we don't have, like, death metal radio stuff. And one of my friends went to Germany, and he brought back some CDs, and one of them was Opeth, and then I heard it, and it blew my mind, because I had heard nothing like it whatsoever, and that was my first exposure to death metal. Everything beforehand was stuff like Metallica, Tool, things that would be playing on the radio in the States. So to hear like those growls and just this visceral shit, and just like the structure of the music just blew my mind. I remember that vividly. Fuck. So I was expecting a low lower than that low. Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe not. Let's see where it breaks. I mean, at this point, you've already kind of settled on the bands that you like, and even then, the bands that you like might have transitioned off of the overall sound feeling, like they just kind of grow out of their sound, like Opeth does. So you're just kind of like stuck listening to the old stuff that you used to like. I'm kind of in that point too. I don't really care about hearing anybody else. I already have like my collection of songs. over decades that I enjoy, so I don't really go out and look for new things. I guess the newest band that I like is kind of a new metal, basic metal band, but I like them a lot. Alter Bridge is probably the newest thing that I've gotten into. It's just like, to you, that'd probably just be American new metal, or what do they call that? They got some really nice sound though, and singing's good too. Alright, this isn't making the low lower than that low yet. I only have 100 shares though. Let's see what happens. It's going into a support area. Could also go all the way down to the moving average. But if this thing goes long and takes out this bar, then I'll switch out long as well. Let's see it go down one more time. Man, MRNA is having quite the reversal, isn't it? Oh, if only we stayed long during that time, man. We'd be making bank, but we didn't. And I can... Thank you. Thank you. Now I can look for something else better. Yep, I know Epica. I like, female singers. Like, Nightwish. But I like the old Nightwish when they had that, the original singer had a definite style that couldn't be, replicated. But they had a falling out. Like, they had an opera trained singer, Tarja. And that gave him a really unique sound. Alright, kids, we're positive for the day. We're up 10 bucks. We could have been up 150, but we're up. So we haven't lost. Jesus. Still no losses for the dragon. Well, one loss, sorry. One loss this month. If you see my mouth movements, because I'm eating a burrito. Give me a minute. Flesh Go Apocalypse, haven't heard of it. Haven't heard of any of those last three you've mentioned. Fail Emotions is underground. Can you even call anything underground anymore? Because with the internet, you're all kind of on the same level. You can't have as much marketing push as if you were tied to a label, but I don't even know if it's that important anymore. Because I don't see music ads. I definitely hear it from friends, and so the way that I get exposed to that is through people like you telling me about these bands and not any type of advertising. So I don't even know if we can still have the same thing like we did before in regards to what's called underground, where you didn't have access to the internet and they would just play at clubs without any other exposure. But I think everything is kind of like at a similar level, all being online. See, I know you're not a large language model, because if I start asking you questions about specific dates and stuff, you're gonna mess those up. I, asked GPT for, who a song was made by, and they gave me a completely wrong answer. And then I had to correct it, and like, oh yeah, you're right. I do have records of that. That's not gonna be forever, though. Those things are gonna be outstrip our abilities soon. Well, the only thing I can say today is that we're up money. We aren't up much money, but we are up. MRNA is our only blemish. And that's something that could have been... Wow, that's a drop. Jesus Christ. Underground is everything that has, less than 100,000 views in over 10 years. Jesus Christ, yeah, that's a long time. All you need to do is run a couple of, Google ads and you'll be over 100,000. Full pop. Wow. That's interesting. I might get another little pop here in Tesla. Gotta be careful. This is the last level it needs to take. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit murky. So never hit any of our goals, never hit the stop loss, never hit any type of take profit and leave target, so today is just kind of a fucking dead day. Tesseract. I'll put that on the list too. Sounds interesting. So I have Aether, the Halo Effect, Dillinger Escape Plan, Tesseract. I've probably heard of Tesseract before. Or maybe it's just a conglomeration of a bunch of different things. So what is this? That's a retest? Is it gonna go higher from here, or is it gonna fail? That's a good question. So we got this. Retest the highs of this. It is starting to weaken. It's in below the moving average. Nope. That's an interesting drop-off. It's not quite like distribution that I usually see. But this is only 1 minute, doesn't really mean much. Let's go to 5 minute. Okay, maybe. But I would have liked to see a tail retest. This is not it, so maybe this is liquidity grabbed for move higher. But it's hard to tell sometimes. Let's see if where this closes, because then we might go long. Yeah, I'm sure I'll make 300 after you leave. I was gonna wrap up the stream anyway, because I got some stuff to do, and then I can come back on later and play some games. Right now, we're up $10, and that's all I have to show for the day. So we've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen some good wins. We saw me getting obsessed with a single stock that kind of reamed me, and then we clawed back up again. I'm looking for a break above this here, so I can tell if this thing's gonna run up and grab this last level it needs to gain, but it hasn't yet. Anyway, Turbo Fan, it was good to see you again. Good conversations. Huh. Yeah, still don't have a triggering mechanism yet. I better, put an alert in case it does happen. Oops. There we go. Alright, I guess I'll wrap up the stream here. So we are up. I did not lose today, although it may as well be a loss with gains this small. Weary little gains. I got some work to do today, too, so... I'd usually play a game around... Well, I didn't hit my goal today, so I only play games when I hit my goal, so that I can separate myself from the market, but we haven't been able to do that. But I am going to play games later, because we're really behind, and I don't have much time left this month to, get stuff for the highlight reel. I'm going to look for, a long on Tesla at some point today, and I'm also going to look for a good short on MRNA at some point today. So those are my two plans. But for all intents and purposes, I am up today, so I did not lose. And I'm going to, we'll end this stream, and then anything that happens afterwards happens, but you won't get to see it. So just consider it, I didn't lose today. Kinda just broke even. Alright, Turbofan, Tiug, Moonwatcher, Skylar, A-Carpet, anyone else who was, lurking on in the background, thank you for joining me. Not an easy day like yesterday. Could have been easier if I didn't screw around on MRNA, but... it is what it is. Alright people, we got some stuff to do, and I'm still gonna play this, but I have to wait for some better opportunities, and maybe I'll trade better if I'm not, trying to narrate everything. Alright people, see ya later today for some games. Bye-bye.